In a statement released by Balarabe Bello, the National Secretary of the Northern Liberal Democratic Movement in Abuja over the weekend, the group said, apart from the mood of the people of the northern region, there was a current reality prompting many chieftains and members of the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, dumping the party for the People's Democratic Party across the region in anticipation of a likely Atiku victory in February. The group claimed that the mood and opinion of stakeholders in the country is in favor of Atiku, who was in a better position to win the contest irrespective of Kano's decision. But in swift reaction, the NNPP has said that Rabiu Kwankwaso, presidential candidate of the New Nigeria People's Party, is not stepping down ahead of the 2023 general election. Joining us now from our Abuja studio is Professor Rufai Alkali, National Chairman of the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP. Good morning, Prof, and thank you very much for joining us on the morning show.
Good morning, Robin Obati. Good morning.
Well, we're told that your party is losing members in droves in the northern part of the country. 700,000 persons were reported to have defected from your party in Bauchi State alone to join the People's Democratic Party. The deputy governorship candidates of your party in Niger State and also in Yobe State are also reported to have moved from the NNPP to the PDP. And then you have this Northern Liberal Democratic Movement advising your candidate, Dr. Musa Rabiu Kwankwaso, to step down for the candidate of the People's Democratic Party because that is the mood and opinion, the spokesperson of that group says, of stakeholders in the northern part of the country. Are you worried? Are you bothered? These defections could continue?
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. First and foremost, I want to take us back to the debate you people have been having a few minutes ago. And I want to state categorically that one of the greatest tragedy that has fallen on Nigeria today, and I think that's the consensus, is that the two older political parties, who I call the dinosaurs, have failed this country woefully. For the past 23 years, they have led this country to a dismal position where today Nigeria is on its knees. This is a reality. Secondly, now that we are facing serious election and we are reaching to the zenith of the campaign, and they don't have any issues to present to Nigerians that this is what they want to offer Nigerians as a way out. Now, what we have seen and what you have been debating and arguing, very, very amusing, very, very interesting, is that this man is saying, calling one person a thief, the other person calling that person a bigger thief. So you are talking about two people who know each other very well for a long time, work together in the Nigerian political space for a long time, and now are exposing themselves to the Nigerian people. That they should all go and either be invited by the security agencies for explanation. Now, under normal circumstances, these people should not be campaigning today. They should go and answer all these questions that have been raised. Because what somebody said, I believe, on Arise recently is that whatever PDP says about APC is correct, and whatever APC said about PDP is correct. And we have said repeatedly that a time will come where these two parties will be engaged in what we call mutual assured destruction. Now, the third point is that while now they are declining, they are collapsing because they don't have no vision for a future in Nigeria, they are clinging to straws, looking for anything to further justify why they should come back. Otherwise, how can somebody sit down in his room and say he has formed an opinion about northern Nigeria, about Nigeria, who will now have decided from nowhere that Kwankwaso should step down for another person, whether it's Atiku or Siwaju or whatever. So I think it's like they made a fundamental mistake also. When Kwankwaso was in PDP, they know his value. Why didn't they retain him in the party? They allow him to go. When he went to APC, they know what contribution he made during the 2015 elections. Again, when he had to leave, they allow him to go. Now that he created a national movement, galvanized support nationwide, he has a massive support everywhere, and he's a presidential candidate. Now they are confused on what to do with him. Therefore, first, they attempted to do it at Arewa House or at the event that took place in Kaduna to be specific, where they wanted to do some sort of choreography to endorse somebody as a candidate at that time. I believe the PDP candidate. When the NNPP refused to play the game, now they have gone around looking for people to go and say, Kwankwaso step down. Why can't they step down when they have all these kind of issues against them now? They are the one who are supposed to step down. In fact, Nigerians are tired of them. Nigerians are angry with them. Because how come people who have integrity issues are now banding around themselves that they're going to lead Nigeria into next direction? Where will they take us to? So I think they have issues to answer, and they are now looking for straws all over the place, looking for young boys, innocent boys, who do not know the history of Nigeria, who do not know the character of Nigerian politics, who do not know what is the implication of allowing these two dinosaurs to return to power in 2023 in the coming few days. They should never be allowed to come back to Nigerian police again. They should all retire.
Okay, all right. I thought you were going to respond to the other part about what happened in Bauchi State with they said no fewer than 700,000 NNPP members have defected to the PDP.
That is also not true. It's one young boy who was all over for many years running around said he's a Concosia boy. And people trusted him.
Okay.
During the constitution of our executive, we just even gave him an opportunity to become one of our zonal secretary. And then later on, maybe because, Nigeria is a very funny country, maybe something happened, maybe money has exchanged hands. Suddenly, overnight, he changed. And then he said he went and mobilized 700. Why will he get 700 people in Bauchi? Bauchi is already not outside the control of PDP and APC. It's in the hands of NNPP.
All right.
Senator Jika is doing very, very well. And for your information, let me add very quickly. In Gombe State today, NNPP has taken over as the second party in the state, because now we are the minority. We have the minority leadership in Gombe State, and every day more people are moving out. Former commissioners, former members of Assembly, former advisors, former party leaders. This is what is happening in Bauchi. This is what is happening in Gombe. What is happening in Kano? What is happening in Borno? Everywhere. So therefore, for somebody to say that 700 from where?
All right, so that's 700,000.
Anybody can write a figure.
Away from that, let's talk about beyond the 700,000 in Bauchi. This morning, reports reaching us states that scores of people, hold on, sir, let me just finish. Scores of people in Kano State have also defected from the NNP to the APC. They were received by Governor Ganduje of Kano State. Now, you have been quoted to have said following the defections to PDP that irrespective of what's going on in the news, and let me read your quote here, NNPP will win in the 3 zones of the north and go further to get votes in the south that will complete its victory. Now, one of the things I wanted to mention to you was that, to ask you is that NNPP, as you have also just said now, you've been talking about campaigning in the north stronghold, but I'm sure you recognize that the elections have to be won in both the north and the south. If you're losing ground with the number of defects or defections in the north, how are you going to be able to win the election?
Well, my sister, I have just told you they were not losing ground. What is happening is that sometimes a party as big as NNPP, sometimes we lose 1 and we gain 10. And sometimes it's even better to lose some of these characters early enough before elections. Because if somebody is following you, pretending to be a member and even a leader at certain level, and then you give him trust, you go around campaigning with him, he knows everything about you, but just before election, he just goes and moves to another person. It's very possible that can cause more damage to us. So we are very happy with this reorganization, what we call internal, rearrangement of the whole thing, and it is happening everywhere. What is important is that today, if you look at what is happening in the PDP, the crisis inside is not sufficient for it to have concern. Why should it bother about taking one person in Bauchi or one person in Gombe, one person in Sokoto? These are inconsequential people who have not added value to the party. And most of us were aware that, in fact, the very reason why this NNPP emerged under the leadership of Rabiu Kwankwaso was that we anticipated 2 years back that as election for 2023 approaches, both the PDP and APC are going to collapse. They are going to implode. And that's what is happening today. And we are talking about integrity issues. We are talking about capacity. We are talking about knowledge about the country. We are even talking about the health condition of the leaders of themselves. This is a country that is too big, too sophisticated, too important in the global system that cannot be handed over to people who will be going to campaigns on stretchers. We cannot allow this to happen.
But, sir, what political watchers and facts on ground are saying otherwise? There is no poll today that has tipped a pathway to victory for the NNPP. In fact, the race has been narrowed down to 3 front runners, not 4 any longer, as we speak today. All the local polls, all the foreign polls only talk about Atiku, Tinubu, and Obi. Nobody talks about NNPP as a path or having a path to presidency as we speak. And a lot of people are looking and saying that those defections are a firm indication of the implosion that is happening in the NNPP. When will the NNPP accept that the ship is sinking?
My namesake Rufai was saying, I think you are also being carried away by the same, same propaganda. You see, we are social scientists, and we have a fair idea of how people can do polls. And I can let you know that all these polls do not have any scientific base. It is very possible for somebody to sit down in his room and just cook up figures, and then depending on his own priority or the old person he wants to promote, just say he is the person in the leading the race. Remember, the first report of poll that was issued, and I believe banded all over the country, was long before even 28th of September when INEC allowed political parties to campaign. Even long before presidential candidates started moving around. In any case, who are the people are they asking? Is it the local man, the fisherman? Is it the farmer in the village? Is it the cattle rearer? Is it the cobbler? Is it the taxi driver? Who are they asking, and under what conditions? They sit down, this is an elite affair, that, okay, we are better of our mind, these are the 2 or 3 or 4 parties we want to support. Let's come up with figures to justify and to legalize certain things that are not morally right. And the question of not pause. Nigerians know that today in this country we are in deep trouble. Are we saying that our economy is in good shape? Are we saying that our security is in good shape? Are we saying that our students are happy? Are we saying that our farmers are happy? Are we talking about traders are happy? So who is asking all those people to come and tell us what is their position, which party they're going to support? Okay. So the reality is that these are all kind of things that are done deliberately to serve a purpose. And for us in NNPP, we have never blinked an eye on this matter. So let me also add one more. Yes.
Okay, Prof, real quickly, just to add, those polls that you claim you don't believe in, one of them by Anna poll that was released a couple of months back actually tipped the NNPP candidate in Kano to win the governorship elections. Do you still believe in polls? Look,
let me tell you, these are all what you call, it's very really patronizing. There's something also that I thought you are going to ask, but you did not ask. 2 days ago, the Peace Committee met, National Peace Committee under General Abdusalam Abubakar, led by highly respected Nigerian leaders. And they invited all the party leaders and the presidential candidates. And we attended the event right here in this Transcorp, Hilton. And by the time they brought out the report, from all the criteria they presented, that every political party must follow in the conduct of its own campaign, either by the presidential candidates, either by the party leaders, either their spokesmen, their supporters, social media handlers. From all, there are about 96 infringements they identified. And over 82% of the 82 of the infringement were from PDP and APC. And then there was not a single evidence of infringement on the part of the NNPP. Now look at people who want to run this country. Now we want to reorganize this country, we want to bring back peace, we want to reunite this country. And now instead of people now to follow the same law they have signed in the middle of everybody, that they are not going to campaign based on ethnicity or religion, they are not going to use violence, they are not going to use foreign language, they are not going to misinformation. Now these are the same people, including the polls they are using, are now identified as some of the infringements. And now ordinarily they should be punished. But now they are not being punished. But I think they should be called to order, and I believe the Peace Committee should go extra level to draw the attention specifically why they are doing this, and they should not do it. We in NNPP, we are very happy that we have been restraining our members, no matter what happened, no matter the provocation, including this thing. Only recently, sir, I want to let you know, on 3 occasions in Borno State, a center of peace, as we know it, every time our pandas go and put their billboards, they are going to be dismantled and destroyed. And we cry, we shout. Again, they will come and repeat it. Now, we never reacted. This is not because people do not have other people who would like to react. We say, no, take it easy because we have already signed an agreement. For how long will we continue? So what we are saying here is that people who are now not following the law, through one of your comments you mentioned during a debate, you are saying that, well, after the election, everything will come back together and things will continue as normal. It is not going to continue as normal because the way they are fighting to get this power desperately, because most of them are playing their last card. What will happen is that any one of them who wins, who is supposed to have won election, the other person will not accept because they know the consequences. PDP knows the consequences of allowing APC to win election. That the other two will be turned around and then they will hit him for the next 8 years. APC is also afraid of PDP win election because they know that if PDP wins election, it will also retaliate. Prof. Therefore, it is NNPP that offers hope for this country, Prof. Where there is no question of acrimony, no question of this kind of disunity. We will now work together and unite our country. But for them, any Prof. One of them who wins election is going to make the country ungovernable.
Professor Alkali, before we go, we all know that the Constitution of Nigeria requires for any major position, school start or a equivalent. But when Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso appeared at Chatham House, he made a big weather out of the fact that he has a PhD. And he said he's not a trader, with obvious reference to Peter Obi of the Labour Party. Now, this person has sent a question in that respect. He says, greetings. I hope this finds you well. My name is... No. Let me leave out his name. He says, I found from Wikipedia that Rabiu Kwankwaso got his PhD in 2022 from a private university in India. Since many people are not aware of any time he was absent from the country on grounds of studies, it may be germane to raise issues of how he got the degree. Was it by correspondence or online program? I think that since he has made much out of his PhD, it may even be necessary to write to the university in question. Cheers. Well, you are the chairman of the party. Would you like to offer some clarifications in this regard?
Well, I think, let me take it differently. One, for example, he did make a reply to a question concerning the Labour, his relation, the party, the relation between us and the Labour Party. But many people made a lot of noise because they read it out of context. And I think I want to use this opportunity to clarify. This is more important than this kind of thing that somebody is raising, which to me is irrelevant because wherever you want to ask questions, you can ask question how you get to primary school, how to go to secondary school, how to go to university. These are questions you can ask about anybody, including myself, including Ruben Obati himself. You can ask questions. We are intellectual, we are investigators. This is not the issue for me here. The issue is that a young man stood up who had opportunity to ask a presidential candidate from his country, to ask him in an international environment. Ordinarily, that person will say, sir, you want to contest for president of Nigeria. What are you going to offer about security? What are you going to do about economy? What are you going to do about uniting the country? What are you going to do about youth unemployment? Instead of him, he just look at him in the face and say, when will you step down for somebody? If you not even give him that other option, okay, are you in discussion with other presidential candidates? Are you contemplating, some sort of alliances or some sort of... No, he was very specific, say, when are you stepping down for somebody? Ordinarily, that question should not come from somebody, a Nigerian concerned about the future of the country, because a presidential candidate who has been going around campaigning and mobilizing Nigeria, you just tell him at Chatham House, step down for somebody. Obviously, the reaction is to put it in context. So people forgot about the circumstances about that question answer. So why he said, why should you raise this matter? And that is why he brought the issue of Peter Obi. And he has a lot of respect for Peter Obi. Personally, I have a lot of respect for Peter Obi. We and in NNPP, we have never engaged a Labour Party or P2B with any altercation. Even APC, PDP, they've been harassing us. We never went to them because that is not our style of managing our campaign, because we are looking at ideas and strategies. Now, in the case of P2B, P2B himself, I have had it not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 10 times that he said himself is a trader. So if you call yourself a trader, if somebody calls a trader, what is the problem there? It's the name you have given to yourself and people are calling you. What is the offense there? There's no offense. But I think the most elementary issue is that people asking about everything, they are right. Everything you can ask about anything. But the good thing is nobody is saying that Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso is connected with any drug issue in this country, or is connected with any terrible corruption issue in this country, or something that can compromise the security of this country, or he is not well, or he is sick, or he can fall off. You know, he is somebody who is focused, and he's somebody who is believe in this country. The NNPP is a mass movement, is a national movement, and there is galvanized support all over. And because people trust him and trust his leadership and his own group, that when he now is sworn in on 29th of May this year, it's a question of good to go. Not to starting learning to process or starting to take the next flight to go to Dubai or go to London for medical treatment first before coming back to constitute a cabinet. This is a man that is in charge.
Okay, sir. Perhaps take a short break. We'll also like to know how he got his PhD, which is a question that was raised earlier on. Thank you so much for your time.